Alright guys, what's going on? Another customer video here. This one is pending sold today, and probably going to be a two-part video, with the first part being this 8-pill 2879C and the second part being a 2-pill 2879C. You may wonder why I'm not running both of them at one time. That's because I don't have the juice to run them both at one time. 2-pill 2879C or a 2-pill 454 would be recommended driver for this thing. We put 190, 200 watts into the 4 pills 2879Cs, so 350 to 400 PEP going in will give this thing max output. And that's around 14 and a half, 15 volts. The higher the voltage goes, you want to turn the drive down a little bit, but I don't have the setup to run both of them. It's all I can do to run the 100 amp, 90 amp power supply and hook it to this super cap and, see what it does. I actually forgot to turn my power supply on earlier, and I thought, damn, there's something wrong with this 8-pill. This thing ain't doing but 600 watts bird, 600 watts average, and lo and behold, it was just running off the super cap, so it was actually doing pretty good just to be running off of it. But we're going to test this thing with our little 1446 amp. No, we're not driving it to full power. The purpose of the video is just to show that the amp is right and to test it before it goes out to the customer. So it's not going to do full power. This thing's doing 200 watts peak or so. So we're missing a good bit of power. Also, we're only running 14 and a half volts. And we don't really have the power system to charge this thing. So we're really underpowering this 8-pill every way you look at it. I don't have a gigantic power supply here to run it. I just supplement my supply with the super cap, which is good enough to get us by. But we're probably missing, 100, couple hundred watts anyway, even with what we're putting into it. And then we're not running, we're only 14 and a half volts. So keep that in mind. That being said, let's just test and see what it's drawing here. Make sure we got our clamp meter set in the right spot. Go ahead and key up. Audio. And you can just see it climbs and just keeps drawing more power, because we're draining the super cap. But that's not a reliable figure as far as the amp draw on this thing. What we would really want to do is hook to these positive leads over here, which, let's see if I can finagle this around there and do that while we're at it. Audio. So drawing almost 100 amps right there. That's more like it. Take that thing off and get it out of the way. Recommended supply for one of these. And we didn't even have the clamp meter wrapped around the 2-pill either, so probably drawing 115 or so anyway. Recommended power supply for one of these, 150 amp minimum is my recommendation. So that being said, our cap's charged back up. We got our 2500 watt slug in here if I can fight through the wires to get to the meter. There's the 2500 watt slug, so we're looking at the top scale. This is average power first. Audio 750 average. Now, I fully expect this thing to do a little bit less than the standard HG2879, because that's the internal characteristic of these transistors. Basically makes them, each transistor is basically between the equivalent of 1 and 2 standard HG2879. So it's going to take more drive. That's just the nature of the game. The 2879C takes a good bit more drive to get the numbers out of it, but at the end of the day, an 8-pill standard will only take 300 watts or so of drive, and then an 8-pill C-box is going to take 400 or so, 350 to 400 anyway. Okay, enough of that. PEP reading. This is peak power. Still looking at that. Top scale. Audio. Just a shade past 1500. So, excuse me. The standard one, this is the same power that I saw out of the last one of these I had, about 1500, 1600 watts PEP. The standard one showed about 1700, so and that was with the same driver and everything going into it. So at the end of the day, the standard HG, yes, it'll do a little bit more power with a little bit less drive. End of the day, you're going to see more power out of the C-Box. A couple reasons why. The 2879C will take more drive, and the 2879C will handle more voltage. So it's been said before, if you're only running 14.5 volts and that's all you're running, you know, maybe give the standard HGs a try. And if you're not wanting to put a lot of drive into them, that's just my takeaway. But if you want to really put some drive into something, and then again, if you have a little bit more voltage on your power supply, you know, you would be amazed at the difference of 14.5 volts and 15.5 volts on one of these, or even 15. I mean, you're going to pick up, you know, at least probably a couple hundred watts, believe it or not. I've saw the 2-pill 2879Cs go from doing 400 to doing 500 with half a volt change. So that just tells you the difference of getting a little bit more voltage on these things. Okay, I'm going to shut this video down. Again, one more time before we do. We've already turned our peak kit off, but average power, audio, over 750 bird average, and then again, peak power for the heck of it, just before we end the 8-pill section of this video. Letting our cap recharge there. Audio, just a shade past 15. So that's it. Probably heard a little bit of a squeal coming in there. We're starving this thing for power. It's no secret. It needs more juice, but that's just to show you that it's working good, man. Okay, I'm gonna hook the 2-pill up next. Rooster in 10, stopping this portion of the video. Alright, this is part 2 of our customer video, the 8-pill 2879C. We've got it sitting off to the side here. And just going to test the 2-pill 2879C. Again, one of my favorite amps, bang for buck, and durability and performance and everything else. And also recommended driver for the 8-pill 2879C. They will take up to 80 to 100 watts PEP. And people have been seeing them do 550, 600. Some even have said they've seen more than 600 watts PEP out of one of these. I'm not going to push it that hard. Little unit in, 35 to 38 watts peak, 10 watts average or so, just like always. And I'm telling you, hear that fan in this thing? This thing forces a ton of air out the side. And sounds like it's going to take off and fly off the table when you turn it on. But real quick, we'll just test current draw off of it. 14.5 volts. Audio, 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 audio. 22 amps or so. They usually draw somewhere between 22 and 25 amps, 23 amps, somewhere in that ballpark. So right on par with what we're used to seeing. Come over here to our bird meter. We've got a 1,000 watt slug in there, rather. Top scale. Audio, 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 audio. That's on peak. I forgot I left the peak kit on. Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Audio will stay on it. Make sure it's not doing any falling back or doing the hokey pokey or the hocus pocus on it here. Just stay on it. Talk, 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 talk. We'll stay on it till about 2 minutes and 15 seconds here, just to show you that it's not doing any falling back, staying together. These little 2 pills are tough as nails, showing almost 400 watts PEP. I have seen them do over 400, but some of them, you know, most of them fall right here what this one's doing. So there you go. That's the PEP test of it. Doing a good job there. And of course, goes without saying, thing is still ice cold, forcing out a ton of air. Average power, excuse me, still looking at the bottom scale. And audio, radio, you know, between 130 and 140 watts average. So that's it, 2-pill 2879C. Again, this one's pending. I've got more of these in stock. Supposed to have 2 of these sold today, and I've got a few of them left. And this one will be leaving with the 8-pill 2879C. Of course, I haven't been paid yet, so they're both pending until they're sold. But really nice guy that's supposed to be getting them. Local guy that I talk to all the time, good fella. So I don't see any reason why these won't be leaving here today. Okay, 2-pill 2879C, and then like I said, the 8-pill sitting off over here to the side. Hope you guys enjoy, and hope the guy that's getting these gets a lot of good use out of them. And that's it, guys. Rooster in Tennessee. Questions, comments, shoot me a text. 423-299-3535. See you guys at Manchester, June 25th, 26th, 27th. Ambassador Inn, Manchester, Tennessee. See you, bye.